Hey, everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. I'm Mike.
And this is Matthew.
We are here to talk about the first issue released in the new Absolute DC universe, Absolute Batman. We recently did a little preview episode of just kind of what our general thoughts were of just going into this new run of DC.
A nice way of saying we talk some shit about this.
We talked some shit. We talked some shit specifically about the design of Batman on that cover.
Mm-hmm.
We've read it, and we're gonna give our thoughts on it.
There's a crow, and we're gonna eat it.
And we're gonna eat it. We're gonna eat some crow. Here's what I will say. I stand by every criticism I gave about the look, because even after at the end of reading this, I'm still having a hard time wrapping myself around some of the choices they've made with this look with Batman. That being said, this is some of the best Batman writing I've had in a bit.
Yes.
This is excellent.
It was like, I was talking to somebody about it this morning. Was it you? Where it was like, basically it was like, so many times when they do this, like the ultimate Marvel universe, or they do these reboots, they like, well, let's just change the character for modern times.
Yeah.
That's not what they did here.
Yeah.
Like sorry, let's not start this, but I have to. Changing Batman for modern times is what a lot of people think the Snyderverse is. I don't agree, but my point more is...
Well, no, I don't agree either. He was remaking Frank Miller's in just setting it in present day.
I just meant the level of violence that people don't understand he shouldn't be killing, so he kills everybody. Point with this is that, like, when they redid Captain America in Ultimates, he just became like this, not a rage monster, but like he's a soldier that kills everybody.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like that in the Marvel 2.0 universe at that time. It's all combined and changed. This is not that. You've got Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne, super intelligent, super in shape, super devoted, super tactical genius, but you just changed where he went.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being the son of super rich parents, he is just this middle-class guy. Instead of having the entirety of Wayne Tech behind him for his gadgets, he's using stuff from the construction site that he works at. So I really, really like that Batman as a character is the same, as a person is the same, but that the setting, the what he has available to him is completely different.
You know, it brings to mind, and it was something I hadn't considered until you mentioned this. And I'm just now considering, and I don't mean this, and I'm not taking this down a political point. I'm just more or less just stating facts. But one criticism that has come up around Batman, particularly in recent years, is that, like, why doesn't he, if he has all that money, why isn't he just putting the money into the city? And it is a fair argument. It is a fair argument to be made. And also there are is like, is he just a rich, like the idea of like Batman also being a rich, like the 1%er at times leaves a weird taste in people's mouth. This removes that.
Yeah.
To where it's like, oh, Batman's just Batman because he has money. Well, no, he's not. No, Batman is Batman. The money helps. But even you take away the money and Batman would still be Batman. Hell, I've brought it up before, but like Batman Beyond Neo Year is a lot of that, because it's about, like, you know, Gotham AI gets smart. He has to go techless, basically. Terry does. So yeah, the idea of removing the wealth and saying Batman can still be Batman without it is a way to kind of, it was a way to answer that criticism, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not intentionally. I don't know what the decision was behind that with Scott Snyder, but either way, I think it's a really interesting, fresh take on it, because this is an everyman Batman.
Yeah. Well, and like Bruce Wayne with the things that Bruce Wayne has available in the main DC, which is lots of money and gadgets and everything, without all the brains and smarts that Batman really is, we have an example of that. He's called Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Green Arrow has everything Batman has as far as finances, as far as technical support,
Actual resources.
Resources, there you go.
Yes.
Behind him, and he's Green Arrow. And nothing wrong with Green Arrow. He just does things differently. He's nowhere near as super crazy, intelligent, smart as Batman is. So that's where
Stephen Amell did it once, but Green Arrow's not usually that smart.
Yeah. So I think that's where you look at this and go like, yeah, as much as I didn't like this particular comic I'm about to bring up, there were some interesting things of like, did you ever read Batman versus Spawn that Todd McFarlane drew and wrote?
I did not. No,
okay.
I never read Spawn. I'll be honest. Okay. I've never read a Spawn comic in my life just because of when I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a part where they're doing stuff and it's like, Spawn watches Batman do this thing with the dexterity of the hands of somebody who could be a neurosurgeon, but chose to be a crime fighter, or like these different instances where Spawn is watching Batman and going like, no, this guy is not just some good martial artist. Like he's super smart. He's memorized things. Like this is not just he's not just Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He's Bruce Lee and, Neil deGrasse and Sherlock Holmes.
Neil who?
Combined. What did I say?
I don't know what you said, but you did not say a name after the word Neil. What you said was you said noises, but you didn't say names.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. There you go. Yeah, him. Did I just nail it?
You still haven't nailed it, but we're going to move on.
That scientist guy.
The scientist guy that ruins everything.
The scientist guy who keeps telling parents to let their kids break eggs, which is cute. You're right. It's only 50 cents, but it's a pain in the ass to clean up.
Anyway.
But no, I think that's what this shows. Like you're saying, like strip away that he's still going to be Batman.
Yeah. And what I liked was to your point, when we get this version of Alfred, which I think it might be the other thing I'm still trying to kind of come to grips with is Alfred the super spy. Like I'm not against it, but I think that's the thing I'm really having to wrap my head around the most is essentially not having Alfred in the mix. That's a hard pill to swallow, but I like that. Yeah, I like you. Well, that's true. Yeah, but what I like is where he says like, okay, so you went, became an athlete, figured that part out, fake injured your way out, studied all the important stuff, and then he basically gig economied his way into being Batman. And I love that. I love that this guy, jack of all trades, his way into being Batman. I fuck with that hard. That is such an interesting, clever way of again, middle-class Batman.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, because I like too is like if you think about, and it's weird again, we discuss timelines. We don't know when Alfred stopped being an MI6 agent.
Yeah, that's never been.
But let's just assume it's 30s-ish. Because
I've never watched Pennyworth.
Neither have I. But I'm just going to go with Batman comics. Batman is 35-ish, maybe close to 40. So that means Alfred's got to be close to 60. Because he wouldn't be 25 and the Waynes give him a kid to raise.
Yeah, unlike Michael Caine, who just seems to never age in those movies.
Yeah, but my point more is that you have somebody who stopped being the secret agent probably mid-30s.
Yeah.
And they became a butler and started working for this family. Well, this Alfred continued being a special agent for 10 or 15, maybe 20 more years. So you've got this guy who is now a hard-boiled? No, that's a detective. Like a veteran
grizzled
espionage guy. Grizzled. Good night.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink some coffee. Hold on. Let me see.
Hey, I went to nice mug. I can't help it. I was an ACT tutor for a while.
But no, I think that's the thing is like it's Again, like this is where this guy's path would have gone had he not stopped and gone to take care of Bruce, because he would have been the butler long before Bruce Wayne, all that stuff happened. So that's all
Yeah.
that to say, this is a tenured espionage guy. There you go. That's the word. A tenured espionage guy who has been through dozens and dozens of this kind of thing. So he's easily, I mean, the fact that he within moments,
Well,
it's Bruce Wayne says, I know exactly who this guy is. And then he gets surprised at the end.
well, but also we know that he's been to Gotham before.
Mm-hmm.
We know he has a daughter or something, I believe, named Julia, who he tried to reach out to, who told him to fuck off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And which at that point is kind of like, well, just made that easier.
Yeah.
But I was really interested in the way Alfred is still very clearly like the Alfred we know, just from a different lens. Like Alfred was always in for the mission.
Yeah.
But he was in for the mission from the supportive father standpoint. This is an Alfred who is in for the mission and has that barrier of protective father figure removed.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious what role he is going to play in all this. And I think that's why it's going like, he's the enigma that I can't quite get past, because I really don't know what they could like. That's the most unpredictable part of this, I think, is Alfred.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've already kind of pseudo given my prediction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even that, I still think I think there's a lot of ways you could do that. But let's talk a little bit about too, like the choice in, I guess, rogues we get with this, because we kick off with a wild take on Black Mask.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Well, again, this is that whole swing for the fences. You take the concept of Black Mask, make it some weird gang, go nuts with it, and have some fun. And I think that's where this kind of stuff you can have fun with, is take this thing that's been the same forever and extend it. Do something different with it. It's still crime, crazy, whatever, but give it an angle, give it a pitch, make him a little more than he usually is. And I think it's great. And especially because he's probably the villain for this first story arc.
Yeah, well, we're getting 5 issues out of this. And what I also think is it seems like this Black Mask is what would a kind of like with Riddler in The Batman. It's what would it look like if Roman Sionis was a young upstart mobster?
Yeah.
Who is hip to the modern times. He's got a young wife, a young kid, whatever's going on with them. I have some questions about what's up with the faces. That's a new take. That's a very new take. Didn't have that on my bingo card at all. And seeing just the direction. I mean, Black Mask has always been one of my I think understated favorite from the crime.
Yeah.
The mob, organized crime side of Batman rogues, not necessarily a super villain, but that. Yeah. Black Mask is a good one. That also kind of has me going we not to change subjects too much, but we haven't thrown him in the mix as a possibility for Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. And I don't hate the idea.
I mean, it could be
something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. What do you think about? But yeah, tell me what you thought about Black Mask, man.
I just thought it was interesting. Again, taking some of these characters and don't just change their color, or, for lack of a better way, it's a horrible segue, or just change their ethnicity. Do something different. A reboot doesn't just mean, oh, let's inject racial equality across all characters. Do something with it. Give me something different. And I think that was where with Ultimate X-Men, I didn't think they did anything different with that series. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate X-Men was just way more soap opera-y. They cranked up the melodrama.
Yeah.
With Ultimate X-Men, I felt like.
Yeah, and then but Ultimate Spider-Man, I think they really, that was probably in my opinion the best one.
Marvel cooked hard with Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate
Yeah.
Spider-Man, I agree. I think was probably the best thing Marvel Ultimates
Yeah.
did, hands down.
I liked Ultimates a lot, and
Mhm.
without it, we don't get the MCU, in my opinion. But I felt like
You're not
there was
wrong.
a couple of things where I was like, I think you went too far with this. Like the Thor thing they tried to do at the very beginning, I didn't particularly care for.
Mhm.
But again, like I think with this is you're not just changing ethnicities. You did something different with this guy, but you know it's the same guy. You don't have to like you show me a picture of this Black Mask. I'm like, oh, that's Black Mask, and that's his gang.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With the ape skulls and everything. I mean, it's just what a choice. I am and also what an interesting choice to have Gordon be the mayor who replaced Hill. Gordon's done being a cop already, but we see Barbara is a uniform officer.
Mm-hmm.
And a young one, it seems.
Yeah.
So, and Gordon gets shot. Gordon gets shot. So what are we doing here?
Well, and I think this is where I don't know why I keep referencing other things, but like one of the coolest things about the Batman cartoon was the first 2 seasons, it just wasn't your standard Batman.
Mhm.
So with this, you like literally Gordon's out. Like you're not going to
Yeah.
get Batman and Gordon working together. That's not going to be
Maybe,
a
I
thing.
don't know. We don't know if he's dead.
I mean,
We just know he's currently shot.
yes, but he's not a cop.
He's not a, you're right. He's not a, well, if you think about it, maybe the way Batman, maybe that's his way. He can't trust the police. He can't work with the police. So he goes to the mayor instead, because it seems like this Batman is more about the city side of things than the crime side of things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he cares more. He doesn't care so much about stopping organized crime as he does just taking care of the city. So to that aspect, I could still see him leaning towards being an ally, allying with Commissioner Gordon, especially because now we know Gordon and Bruce's mom are tight because his mom is still alive.
Mm-hmm. Well, or maybe instead of becoming Batgirl, Barbara Gordon is the police Gordon he works with.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time. That's literally from Batman Beyond. Barbara Gordon's the police commissioner. So, and also in Batman Cape Crusader, she's a
DA.
No, she's a public
Assistant
defender.
DA.
She's a public
Whatever.
defender.
Okay.
And so yeah, there's a lot of, you can do a lot with Barbara Gordon. It's a really versatile character. You just got to make her smart.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You just got to make her smart. It's the one character trait that you really need for Barbara Gordon is to be smart.
Yeah. And then rewind to what you said. Yes, his mom is alive.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be, is she going to become damsel bait? Or is it just something that has him going?
I legitimately thought Alfred was going to kill his mom in this book. I legitimately thought he was about to, I was going to be like, oh my God, are they? Because at this point I was like, anything's on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was like, is he going to kill Martha to call out Batman? But then the more I got in, I was like, no, this doesn't seem like that, the way that Alfred would operate. Thank God. But yeah, what an interesting thing. I did not see that coming.
And like, I'd almost say, I don't know that this Batman does Robins if his mom is around.
Not a chance. Well, first of all, this one's 24.
Yeah. So we got 30 more issues or 36 more issues before we get to year 3 and whatever Dick Grayson in this absolute Dick Grayson looks like. Absolute dick.
Absolute dick. Absolute DC stands for Absolute Dick Comics. By the way, guys, you should absolutely subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, because this is the kind of quality stuff you get here. We are the Batman.
Oh, sorry, you got me on that one.
so good. That's so good. There was something else I wanted to talk about. This is a good. Okay, let's talk about the design. Okay, let's.
Well, hold on, wait. Let me go before we do some
Okay.
crap. I got one more thing.
Yeah.
I said it when we were talking on the phone when I first read it
Yeah.
that they modernized the death. The fact that his dad is killed in a what's it called a mass shooting
in a let's call it what it is in a school shooting. I mean, it's at the zoo, but it's a school field trip at the zoo.
That is only happening because of Bruce Wayne and how smart he is. So now you still get Bruce Wayne being guilty about the fact that they were in a place they shouldn't have been. And that's why his dad gets killed. Yeah, so that's where I say, like, you're still doing all the same things.
Yeah.
Still doing all the same. You've done it differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was like, yeah, that's right. If he's 24 within the last 10 or 15 years, like that has become a hot topic issue. And
if he's 24 now, that means he was born in the year 2000.
Yeah.
So he was, a teenager in high school when all things like Sandy Hook and all that were going on in real life here. So it stands to reason that at the time he was a young man.
Yeah. So I thought that was, I would say, really cool. That's not the right.
No. But it's an interesting way of maintaining that through line of Bruce perceiving his own guilt.
Yes.
In the death of his father.
Yeah. And updating the way, because I mean, look, I'm not trying to be weird. Like the whole mugging somebody with a gun thing is kind of gone. It doesn't happen anywhere near as much as it used to because they'll just steal your stuff digitally. It's not the same kind of thing. So to do this,
and not to say people don't get mugged, but like it's more likely that they would have been killed in a random act of violence. I don't know. Yeah, there's just like you said, the idea of the couple and the son getting mugged outside the movie theater is a little 50s, a little 60s. But we said the same thing when, I say what you will about the performance or whatever, or the actual look itself. But when people were first griping about, Jared Leto's look in Suicide Squad, I was like, it's not great, but if Joker was that kind of gangster in 2016, it's probably what he'd look like. Kind of a douche, kind of a tatted up douchebag, like that's kind of probably what he would look like. It is I thought that as soon as I kudos, who was it that did the art on this again? I cannot remember for the life.
Nick Dragata.
Thank you. The way that those series of panels were drawn when they show the incident was so well done. I keep wanting to say well edited, but that's not what it is. I don't know how else to describe it. As just well formatted. It was just so well drawn and well formatted and so cleverly done. Like by the end of it, was like, oh wait, I haven't breathed in a few minutes. Like it was, I felt like I was there in the moment. Like it was, and to couple it with him in the gym with Waylon. Oh, we got to talk about that in a minute.
Because I got something about the gym I want to ask you.
Yeah. But really well done on that panel with conveying what happened without showing us too much.
Yes. You know what's happening. You know what happened. We don't need to see brain matter.
You leave
everywhere.
Just enough to the imagination.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? So yeah, the scene in the gym, or the sequence in the gym. What were you going to bring up?
Is this listeners, I'm sorry. I'm holding the comic up and showing the page where you see somebody kicking the thing. Is that absolute dick?
You see somebody what?
So there's somebody who's beating on the bag first.
Uh-huh.
And then Bruce Wayne comes in all big as crap and tells him to step off so he can go. And then you see the difference between how powerful he is compared to this other guy. Do you think that's Dick Grayson?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think we'll see Dick Grayson in these 5 issues. I'd be shocked. I don't think we'll see Dick Grayson. I don't think that.
I wasn't sure. Just because of that's the thing that they do sometimes.
No, I totally get it, and that's a totally fair point. I think they would have wanted us to know that was Dick Grayson if it was. I think they would have said something.
If it becomes Dick Grayson, I'm not mad. If it's never we see this guy again and he's not Dick Grayson, I'm not mad either.
Yeah. But we get some other names because that's the other reason too, is like they drop so many names in this whole sequence. I feel like if that was somebody, they would have said, because we get Waylon Jones, the gym owner, carrying a baby croc, walking through the gym, name drop. He's like, yeah, I got a license from Ozzy. And he's like, yeah, come on over. We're all going to hang out. It's going to be Oz and Eddie and Harvey trying to get Selena out there. It's like, everyone's just kind of,
they're all here still.
They're all still in Gotham. Batman hasn't really started yet, so there's no reason for any of them to be villains yet. We saw something similar in Cape Crusader with where Waylon is. So I'm always down for a different kind of take on a villain origin.
Yeah, and like you said, like before Batman becomes Batman, these people exist, and before they become villains, most of them are just normal people who things go wrong and they go crazy, and then they're villains.
And now we've placed Bruce Wayne in a universe where, because he was a member of high society, he was a 1%er all the time, he never would have interacted with these people prior to. Now he's one of them. Yeah. So he's got, which lays the groundwork for like potential, drama down the road of like, oh, now this person I knew is now a villain. What do I do? Like, yeah, it's been done, but it works. Yeah. And it's a good way to do that. And it's something we haven't really done much with Batman. We don't always get prior relationships with his villains. Usually the relationship comes after.
Yeah. Harvey Dent's the only one that really has like that thing with him before.
Yeah, Harvey, every once in a while they'll fold something in here or there, but for the most part, it's never like a personal connection. And it seems to me like him and Waylon go way back.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how he comes back.
No, I think when we first talked about this a couple episodes ago, it was like, I don't like the design. They better get me with the writing. They got me. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm so sold. I'm ready for the next issue. I don't know it's going to be a bit, but like, I'm other than just the design aspect that I'm still having a hard time with. And I'm going to be honest, I think the thing with the cape is dumb.
The chains in the cape?
Where he throws it and wraps it around and also the axe is stupid. The axe is stupid. Chopping off a dude's arm, I'm not into it. I
feel like there's another way you could have given him something like that without it pulls off his chest plate,
because it feels so everything else about this Batman is so thematic. Yeah. We see Alfred going to the zoo and studying these data, these placards about just raw bat facts that we see then Batman has incorporated into his costume, and that's cool. The axe is just there to be an axe and nothing else, and it makes nary a lick of sense.
Had they done the thing where the symbol's bulletproof and then he can also use it as an axe, maybe I give you
the axe again. The axe doesn't make any sense with anything else they're doing with this Batman. It's so out of left field. It's so obnoxious. It feels like something somebody just like thought of in a fever dream and just couldn't let it go. It's dumb.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend it. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered you, but I'm also kind of one of those like, sure, if we're going to do something different, okay. Like,
especially because, and here's why, because in that sequence, because Alfred is watching him this whole time, and we're getting Alfred's like data collection on everything he does, and he makes a point of pointing out that this Batman is methodical and tactical. He does things, he's breaking arms and legs in a way to prove a point, to let everyone know this is what I'm doing to your friend. Chopping the dude's arm off just feels out. It just doesn't feel, it feels so out of character, which is a weird thing to say with what we've been presented so far with this Batman. I guess
I'm hoping this is one of those things that after the first story arc or two, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, if we never see it again, I won't be mad about it. Especially because when he takes it off and then there's just this big mesh hole in his, and I was like, you could have, like, I don't know, put something there. I don't know. It was weird. If that's the one gripe I got, it's it is what it is. But yeah, I can't deny that this is some of my favorite writing I've seen, because it's just so inventive. Yeah, it's so clever.
Yeah.
So I really can't wait now. And I think you texted me this too. Like I'm just excited to read Wonder Woman and Superman.
Yeah. Like let's see what they've done. If the stories on that are as good as this, because correct me if I'm wrong, Scott Snyder is also the head of this thing too.
I think so. I'm gonna pull that up right now because I'm not super sure on that.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm definitely in.
Yes, Scott Snyder is overseeing the whole thing. Scott Snyder was the writer on Just Absolute Batman, but he is overseeing the whole project.
And as it should be, the epilogue will be the last thing we discuss. Okay, so we're all done. We think we're done. Epilogue kicks in. We get what we assume is the origin of the standard Bruce Wayne, which is somebody who's super rich, going all over the city, going everywhere, but it's a guy who doesn't laugh. And that's why they call him the Joker. So the Joker in this universe is your super BA world traveling person, but he did kill Ducard. So who knows how
he killed. And also, what a name drop.
Yeah.
Henry Ducard. We when we talked about Batman Begins, when we first started doing the breakdowns way back when, and we talked about how you brought it up, Henry Ducard. What a deep cut DC Batman name pull. Holy shit. Never heard that name ever again. Ever. And then in this situation, he's like, hey, just killed Henry Ducard. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. So then now this makes you wonder, so is this version of the Joker going to be like Nemesis? Have you read Nemesis?
I haven't read Nemesis, no.
Okay. Nemesis is really jacked up.
Okay.
It's basically like if Batman was a supervillain.
Okay.
All the intelligence, abilities, blah, blah. He's in this totally white Batman looking outfit without the ears. But it's Mark Millar, so it's over the top graphic and violent and nuts. I'll tell you more later. But no, I think that's now I'm interested to see what this Joker's going to be.
I wonder
now. This solves my problem, because I always hate the fact that once Batman gets past Joker's things, he whips the crap out of him. This Joker is not going to be a joke.
What if this Joker, what if they take this like a Patrick Bateman route, like from American Psycho?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that guy who's just such a complete and utter psychopath that it's like you just have no idea what he's thinking or feeling at any given moment.
Or he could be absolute DC's Wrath.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot. And again, like we've seen, even not to keep bringing it up, but like in Cape Crusader, we saw both what a wild swing Paul Dini took with Harley Quinn, and whatever they're setting up for with their take a Joker for next season. So if there's one thing I'm always in the mood for, it's a new, interesting take on the Joker, and they seem to have done a 180.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely got some cool stuff coming up. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we will. In the meantime, guys, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Please. We don't usually do this too many times in the same episode, but like, come on. Do it. It's free. It's easy. And also, if you guys please let us know what you think down in the comments. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Make sure you follow us on all social media at WATB Pod. You can find me everywhere at Mr. Mike Shea.
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. J Ninja.
That is going to do it for this episode of We Are the Batman. We will see you again next time. Same bat time, same bat time. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
Bye-bye.